Hello, my fellow Tenno, it's Buskets, and welcome back to another Warframe video. I appreciate the support on the other Warframe videos. It's cool to see like an interactive community even though my channel's so small. I've been really enjoying my time with this game as a beginner. Now, I only have about 20 hours, which is nothing for a game like this, but I feel like it's enough to show other beginners where to start. But I want to create a little more in-depth video that's very friendly for beginners, because Warframe can seem like a lot in the beginning. So before we get into the video, I just want to say leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you've been enjoying the Warframe content, and let's just get into it. We're going to be going over multiple things, so just stay tuned. So first off, what exactly is Warframe? Now, I mentioned in the other video, it's kind of a sandboxy type of game, but it's really more of a looter shooter when it comes down to it. So what really is your main objective or goal in Warframe? Basically, your objective is just to get strong as possible. You do missions, gather loot, level up all of your equipment, your Warframe, which is, you know, kind of your character. I'll get into more of that stuff in a minute. Craft different weapons and Warframes and other equipment. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Equip mods to all of your equipment as well. But that isn't the only goal. There's many different ways you can actually play Warframe. If you know the typical looter shooter is your thing and you really just want to get as strong as possible with your character, get all the different types of weapons and equipment, Warframes, collect all that stuff, you can definitely do that. But if that's not your cup of tea, there's also main quest lines which kind of serve as the story and lore for the Tenno, the Warframes, and just the universe inside of the game in general. So if you just want to do that with one or two Warframes, you can do that. Or if you just want to collect a bunch of different stuff, you can do that as well. A bunch of variety of the mission types. And like I said, there's main quest lines giving you a more in-depth storytelling about the universe. But there's a lot that goes into that, and it low-key looks way more complex and complicated than it needs to be. It's very simple once you put your mind to it. There's just so much content that makes it complex, but once you look at everything, very simple. So you've picked your starter Warframe, you did the tutorial quest. Now you're probably wondering, what do you do from here? While those first couple missions serve as a good way to introduce you to the basics of Warframe, it doesn't tell you everything. Once you do those, the game pretty much fully opens up to you. Like, look at the amount of content right here. Holy. Basically, your goal is to complete this entire star chart here. So you will start on Earth after doing the first main quest, and you basically just want to go and complete all these little missions that we have here. I have a few that I haven't done, but so I would simply start with that. After the main quest, just go through these little side missions here, do as many as you can or want. The game will also give you a few more tips as you're doing this to help you along with your journey. And then after you've completed at least majority of these, I would look towards the junctions. As you see, I haven't done the Mars junction, but I have done the Venus junction. All the junction basically is there's 4 things right here that you'll have to complete to open it up. You can then enter the junction, and you'll do a little mission fighting a Spectre to actually go to Mars. The Spectre are just like mini boss fights, and if you've been, you know, leveling up and doing all this stuff, they should be easy peasy. So yeah, you do the planet, do the junctions, and you just go on to the next one. Pretty simple. So that's basically how you get around the star chart, get more into the game. But this all here is basically your hub, your ship, you know, whatever you want to call it. It has all of the different tools you're going to be using on your journey. But obviously, the two main most important ones are the arsenal and the foundry over here. So let's show you the arsenal. In the arsenal, you can see your current loadout. You got your primary weapon, the secondary weapon, and your melee weapon. And then some certain Warframes will have an extra one here at the bottom. For example, Excalibur has this blade, but my other Warframe, Rhino, he doesn't have one. So he doesn't have that, you know, specific thing. And then we have the Parazon at the bottom here as well. In the arsenal as well is where you can buy a bunch of different blueprints. So this game isn't really you buy it and it's ready to go, or you loot it and it's ready to go. You have to craft basically everything in this game. For example, if I wanted to buy this Ash Warframe right here, I would buy the blueprint for it, and then I would need to get the materials in order to craft that specific Warframe. But there's tons in here to choose from. Some you can buy just with credits, some with platinum. But yeah, there's like 13 years of, you know, content in here, so it's crazy. Majority of stuff can be bought with credits, but platinum is also a thing too. It's more so like real world money that you can use to like trade goods with other real players. I haven't gotten too much into that part yet, so I'm not going to go over it. Same thing with weapons here. We got a ton of them. Got all the melee weapons, secondary weapons as well. And then one more super important thing before we get into any of this stuff in here. And so this here is the foundry. This is where you'll craft literally every item in the game. As you can see, I have some weapons here, a couple Warframes, but you'll be spending a lot of time in here. You know, if I was to give you a quick tip, I don't currently have anything, you know, being made right now, but I would try to make sure that at least majority of the time that you have something cooking up in here. So you get the blueprint, you get the requirements that it needs to make the blueprint, you then craft it, and then you claim it later on. You'll be spending a lot of your time in this menu right here. So now let's talk about leveling up. So as you can see right here, I'm mastery rank 2, not far at all, but leveling up your mastery rank is what's going to unlock more things for you in the future. And basically, once you make it to level 17, I believe, you'll pretty much have unlocked everything in the game, besides some quality life stuff later on. Majority of the weapons have a max rank of 30, and the way to level up your mastery rank is by using certain weapons, doing certain missions. You'll get mastery points from defeating the specters, which is the bosses inside of the junctions. There's multiple different ways of getting it, and then once you're able to level up, you'll go into your menu here, and it'll pop up right here saying that you can level up your mastery, and then the game will put you to a little test. They're usually super easy, so you'll have no problem ranking up. And then as far as all your equipment, leveling up that, they all level up together pretty much. Now, yes, obviously the one you're using will level up a little faster, but even if you have something else equipped and you're not necessarily using it, it will still get leveled up. There's kind of shared XP that way. And now probably the most important thing inside of Warframe is modding all of your equipment. Basically upgrading here. So here we have the mod system. And what mods are basically passives you throw onto your equipment to make it better. Now, I'm not saying I have the best setup or anything like that, but just to give you the gist, I have plus 55% health on this Warframe. You know, shield capacity, ability, efficiency. You get it. There's a lot of different ways you can, you know, combine these to make different builds. It all comes down to your own playstyle. And then one little tip in here, when you match the little symbol in the top right-hand corner of this one up to one that has the same one right here, it'll actually become cheaper. So your capacity will be better. You'll be able to put more mods inside of whatever you're trying to do. Same thing with this one. I have it in this spot. It costs 7, but if I put it right here, it only costs 4. So like I have 14 points left that I can put more stuff on. And not just the Warframe, you can do that with your main weapon. You can do it with your secondary weapon. And you can also do it with your melee weapon. As you can see, my build isn't fully optimized at the moment, and then a little more in depth about the mods. If you come over to this thing here, you know, there's a few things you can do in here. You can enhance a mod right here with Endo, which you can also do in the arsenal. You can combine 4 unranked mods to maybe make a rare one. You could sell ones that you're never going to use for credits, or you can dissolve some into Endo. So these two are kind of the same thing. You're just getting rid of them for whichever currency you want. And I guess I did forget to say this Endo right here, this is what you use to upgrade the mods so that they're more efficient in what exactly they're doing. I guess I could show you how to do that real quick. So you come in here to your upgrades, you'll click on the mod, hold to enhance. You know, it might be different if you're on keyboard, obviously. And then you'll just, you know, you can rank it up. Obviously, it costs Endo and credits, so just spend wisely. But I think that's really all the main things. I can't, you know, really think of anything I'm missing. You do have the market up here as well where you can purchase things. I'm not going to get into like the trading system or whatever because I myself don't do it. So if you want to know how to like trade, you know, certain things with other people, you know, like the dojo and, you know, stuff like that, being in a clan or whatever, I would definitely go and look at another video into that because it's definitely worth it. You'll get tons of different rewards and stuff like that. Over here you have the codex, which basically will show you everything in the game, but I think that's pretty much it. As a beginner, you'll start here on Earth after the first few quests. You know, just clear majority of this out until you can do the junctions, head to other planets, you know, kind of rinse and repeat. A lot of different hallway missions. There are a few planets that house open world areas as well. And yeah, play the game how you want to play. If you want to finish all of this and just get as strong as possible, do it. If you just want to complete enough to get through the main quest lines and kind of go for a more story-based story-focused playthrough, go for it. That's the cool thing about Warframe. You can really tackle it however you want. Now, the only other thing I can think to show you real quick is the combat system. It's fairly simple. You obviously have your normal melee weapon. There's a few different combos and stuff you can use with different weapons, so just make sure you're looking at that. Like I said, you can go into the training and kind of figure all that out, and there's also a little melee combo thing here. You have your main primary gun that you can use, your secondary weapon as well, and then obviously each Warframe has their own abilities that you got to be aware of as well. As you see, every Warframe will have 4 of them, and you'll unlock them as you level up the Warframe. That's why there's so many different playstyles, because all the Warframes have, you know, 4 different unique abilities. Make sure you're modding all of those things. There's tons of build videos out there if that's what you want. But yeah, it just kind of comes as you get more experience. But yeah, that's really all I have for you guys in this video. Stay tuned for the next one where I show off some more gameplay of me reacting to newer quest lines as a new player. If this helped you as a beginner in 2026, I'd really appreciate a like, and I'll see all you Tenno in the next one. Peace.